How you doing?
What's happening, brother? All right, welcome to the 51st episode of the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America. I'm your host, Brother Twani, and one down out of Houston, Texas. I am the direct revolutionary product of one called named by you, Chewy, out of the Shrines of the Black Madonna. And I'm also the founder of the Black Gold Nation movement. My co-host, the National Director of Political Strategy and Implementation for the Black Gold Nation movement, and the chairman of LACE, Liberation Advocates for Community Empowerment, the intellectual gangster, corporate grassroots revolutionary, and master domino assassin from Shreveport, Louisiana, aka The Boot, Brother Craig B. Lee. Brother Craig, how you doing this evening?
I am doing very well after cutting my damn yard and sweeping and all of this kind of stuff at the house. So I'm hyped and ready to get into it.
Cool. We got a lot to cover with hopefully we'll have time for both videos. So I'm going to say in short, what we're trying to do in the Black Gold Nation movement is gather our people together, as many as possible, to build a tribe, to build a nation of enough Black people who are on the same page as it relates to building and doing for the acquisition of power. What happens to us happens because we don't have the power to stop it. And if we don't get any power, it's simply not going to stop. Tonight's show title is The Illusion of Choice versus the Reality of Predetermined Selection, Escaping the Matrix with Critical Thinking. Again, tonight's show title is The Illusion of Choice versus the Reality of Predetermined Selection, Escaping the Matrix with Critical Thinking. So we're going to start tonight with a brief video from the movie The Matrix. We actually have two videos, but I'm not sure if we're going to have time for the second one because I have so many questions from the first one. So we're going to watch this first movie clip, and then we'll get into the questions. And I am looking forward to a very thought-provoking show. So give me a second to get my screen back up to get the right clip, and we're going to jump right into this thing. All right, I am sharing my screen right now. Y'all should be able to see it. Let's play.
Château Aubryon, 1959. Magnificent wine. I love French wine. Like I love the French language. I have sampled every language. French is my favorite. Fantastic language. Especially to curse with. Nom de Dieu, de putain de bordel de merde de saloperie de connard d'enculé de ta mère. You see, it's like wiping your ass with silk. I love it.
You know why we are here?
I am a trafficker of information. I know everything I can. The question is, do you know why you are here?
We are looking for the keymaker.
Oh yes, it is true. The keymaker, of course. But this is not a reason, this is not a why. The keymaker himself, his very nature is a means, it is not an end. And so, to look for him is to be looking for a means to do what?
You know the answer to that question.
But do you? You think you do, but you do not. You are here because you were sent here. You were told to come here and then you obeyed. It is, of course, the way of all things. You see, there is only one constant, one universal. It is the only real truth. Causality. Action, reaction, cause and effect.
Everything begins with choice.
No, wrong. Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without. Look there at that woman. My God, just look at her. Affecting everyone around her, so obvious, so bourgeois, so boring. But wait. Watch, you see, I have sent her a dessert. A very special dessert. I wrote it myself. It starts so simply. Each line of the program creating a new effect, just like poetry. First, a rush, heat, Her heart flutters. You can see it now, yes? She does not understand why. Is it the wine? No. What is it then? What is the reason? And soon it does not matter. Soon the why and the reason are gone. And all that matters is the feeling itself. Now, this is the nature of the universe. We struggle against it, we fight to deny it, but it is, of course, pretends it is a lie. Beneath our poised appearance, the truth is we are completely out of control. Causality. There is no escape from it. We are forever slaves to it. Our only hope, our only peace is to understand it, to understand the why. Why is what separates us from them, you from me. Why is the only real source of power. Without it, you are powerless. And this is how you come to me, without why, without power. Another link in the chain. But fear not, since I have seen how good you are at following orders, I will tell you what to do next. Run back and give the fortune teller this message. Her time is almost up. Now I have some real business to do, so I will say adieu and goodbye.
This isn't over.
Oh, yes, it is. The keymaker is mine, and I see no reason why I should give him up. No reason at all.
Where are you going?
Please, ma chérie, I've told you, we are all victims of causality. I drink too much wine. I must take a piece. Cause and effect. Au revoir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was the first movie clip, and we're going to talk about that thing a little bit. So now, and I hope we have time to get to the second one because man, it's awesome. All right, so again, the title of tonight's show is The Illusion of Choice versus the Reality of Predetermined Selection, Escaping the Matrix with Critical Thinking. So, Brother Craig, for over 26 years, you have stated and taught that choice is an illusion to the powerless, created by the powerful to create chaos and confusion in the minds of the powerless in order to maintain power and control. As I like to do when we have titles, using words that might not be common to everybody, let's start with a few definitions and explanations. So what is power?
That's beautiful. Dr. Wade Nobles has given the best definition of power that I've ever heard. The ability to define reality and have others respond to your definition as if it were their own. Let me say that again. The ability to define reality and have others respond to your definition as if it were their own.
And who has that ability?
Only those who are in power.
All right. What?
And those who have truly gained control of their mind. Those who have truly gained control of their mind. A lot of individuals who are so-called woke believe that they have control of their mind, but when you engage them in real substantive dialogue and put them to the test with action, you see that most of them are selling wolf tickets.
All right, so what is choice?
So this is I'm so glad we're getting into choice because I've lectured on choice literally for, like you just said, 26 years. And most people equate choice to being a synonym of a decision. But that's not what choice actually is. Choice, as I define it, is the intellectual process involving thinking and critical thinking, which is focused on objectively analyzing, investigating, dissecting, and interrogating one or more subjects, individuals, options, entities for the ability to make a positive decision for your benefit. So let me say it again.
Yeah, say it again.
It's the intellectual process of thinking and critical thinking focused on objectively analyzing, investigating, dissecting, and interrogating one or more subjects, individuals, entities of any type for the purpose of making a decision positively for your benefit.
So if that is choice, I venture to say that most people do not go through all of that to make a choice. No. So if we're not doing that, which we're not, then what are we doing?
You're making predetermined selection.
All right, leave it there. Don't go into that one yet, because that's coming up next. All right, so that is choice. You've already explained power. What is an illusion?
An illusion is, you can almost say that it is a part of what was described in the Matrix as an image that is perceived to be real, something that the mind, people perceive to be real, but it is not real. It is almost like a mirage, a magic trick, but people believe that it is real.
Right.
And so the objective is to make you believe that this is something that is directly there, but it isn't. And if I can get you to focus on that,
that's right,
which is not real, now I got you, because I'm going to hide that which is real from you.
Right.
And if you don't know how to analyze, investigate, interrogate, dissect, you'll always keep on going for the illusion. It's like the banana and the tailpipe that they always talk.
Gotcha. Okay, so per the definition you gave for power and your explanation of who has it, that must mean that the rest of us do not have power in the same way that you explained it. Would that be correct?
Oh, that would definitely be correct. And again, only those who have control of their mind can exercise some measure of it. But as Dr. Wade Nobles defines it, again, the ability to define reality. When you have that ability, that's power. I mean, that's real, to define reality, but then have others respond to your definition, that definition that you've created,
that's right,
as if it were their own, you know?
Yeah.
And so, for example, the entity who created the Dallas Cowboys, Tex Schramm, and you know, the NFL is an idea, because all of these things are just ideas. And you get people to tap into the idea. So you take the Dallas Cowboys, and so Tex Schramm was the original owner of the Dallas Cowboys. He created this, and he created this whole concept of this football team, and he branded it as America's team.
Right. Smart move.
And the fans, the people who follow the Dallas Cowboys, I don't care if they lose 90,000 games in a row.
Obnoxious.
They believe.
Yep.
They believe. So the reality has been defined for them. They buy into it, and then it becomes theirs.
That's right.
They're willing to die for it. and you tell them it's not real, and they.
Oh man, it's time to fight.
There are people who get Dallas Cowboy tattoos on them. They paint their goddamn cars with Dallas Cowboy, and they do this with other teams as well. But I grew up here in Shreveport, me and Terrence Crump, and we grew up with the Dallas Cowboys. And you know, I used to be a fan until they traded Tony Dorsett. And I dropped their ass like a bag of goddamn rock.
All right. So what did you like most or appreciate most about that scene we just played from the movie The Matrix? What was it about that scene that jumped out to you the most?
I mean, there's several things, but the first thing, and I don't think you caught it, when they came to him, did you hear what he defined himself as?
I know you say he traffics in information, but no, yeah, is that it?
Information.
Okay, right.
And he's like, "Look, dude, you coming to me? I'm a trafficker in information."
Of course, I know what's what.
Hell yeah, I know what a kid. What's up? You know.
Right.
So yeah, you came to the right place, but what stood out was how cool he was.
Throughout. Yep. Yeah.
Because he had the information that they needed. And what was so interesting is that they were naive enough to believe they could just walk in and ask for the goddamn key maker, and he was going to turn them over to him. But he quickly dispelled the belief that Morpheus had that everything begins with choice. And when you referenced that today, and I hadn't seen the second Matrix in some years, but it's like, bro, I've been teaching this for so long. I just started laughing because people really do believe that they choose. Mm-hmm. And that's why I stopped using the concept just think about it. Because most people do not know how to think. Thinking is an intellectual process that involves analysis. Thinking and choice go hand in hand. Uh-huh. Choice uses the concept of thinking in order to arrive at a decision. And so if you have not been trained in how to think and then critically think, the whole game is to give you the illusion that that's what you're doing. And when we get into that second video, right, that's what the architect of the Matrix lets Neo know. And when I've done these workshops and I take people through this process and show them how you're programmed every day, and you don't even know it, it shocks them. Mm-hmm. And I use that in workshops in order to gain the attention of the participants so that they can see how easy it is when those who are in power control the media, control all the ways that you get your information, and so they can program you. And we started this call with Naru talking about the video that he sent on the sister who is breaking down the vaccine. And people now are so afraid, and they don't even know that that's an illusion that's being given. Although the virus is real, this is not about the virus. A whole reset of the world's economy is going on, and the people don't even see it because they got them focused on the damn virus.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've been deceived into thinking that we have choices, and we actually do not. So and all of that is done to have us buy into the illusion of what reality is. So the next question is, what is reality?
That's an interesting question. When you deal with that term, reality is, two different things.
Mm-hmm.
For the unconscious and for the enlightened. For the enlightened, those entities who began the process of elevating toward consciousness and connecting with the creator and the ancestors in order to go beyond the physical world, reality means something totally different than what reality means in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this world, the plutocrats, the oligarchs define what reality is. And in this world, reality is money, status, materialism, entertainment, fun, all of these particular things. And life, the actual essence of life, which is supposed to be real, is not really real in this world. I mean, tangibly, you can say it exists, but the reality of the substance that's placed on life. For example, you have people who will say that they are pro-life when it comes to preventing females from having abortions, right?
Yeah.
But those same individuals will be against allowing people to empower themselves so that they can start to take care of their own business. So these same individuals work against them after they're born and they're of age. So now they erect all kinds of obstacles to prevent them from becoming empowered.
Right.
But simultaneously, they'll say that they're pro-life. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the reality in this world is based on the things that the people who control the game of capitalistic white supremacy and capitalism in other countries, it's based on what they define or allow to be defined, that they control. And the way that they create the reality is through their number one weapon, which is entertainment.
Right.
That's the number one weapon that they use to define. Just think about this now. Where do most people learn anything about how to do things in a family? You would say typically inside of their household.
Right. But it's probably television.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All my children, the soap operas, All in the Family, the comedies at night, Good Times, the Jeffersons. These shows are not just put on television now. Those who are in power are crafting the mind of those who will follow those shows.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this on television as it relates to the movie industry, as it relates to sports, as it relates to everything that individuals believe in and roll with. Their reality is defined by the power structure through entertainment.
Right.
So for unconscious people, this is their reality. For those who are now on the enlightened path, when you tap into spirituality and organic right culture, now reality is something totally different.
Right.
Now you start to embrace purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You start to embrace love and humanity, and those things don't have anything to do in reality with money or currency. But now you have to figure out, since you still exist in this physical world, how do you juxtapose the conscious reality versus the unconscious reality that is controlled by the architects, engineers, and managers of the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy? So that reality is two different things if you can break the mental shackles of the most people never will. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So what is truth?
Oh, I love that one. I wrote a paper my senior year at Xavier for modern moral dilemmas called Truth. We need to know, we must know truth. And I define truth as that which can be proven through fact and actuality.
Okay.
That which can be proven through fact and actuality. And those things that are not necessarily able to be proven factually, the actual element, for example, is there a creator of the universe? You know, one could say factually, no. You know, people argue about this, atheists and, you know, people who don't necessarily believe in a higher power. But now you start to say, well, how does this thing called the sun exist, and the moon and the rain and people? And you can try your best to explain that scientifically through biology and chemistry and organic chemistry. But there are some things that are so mysterious and you can see them, but even if you cannot directly prove them factually, they are true. And so truth exists within those things that are factual, actual, and some people say, well, I can have a truth and you can have a truth, and you can roll with that. You have a story, another person have a story, but ultimately there's only one truth.
Okay.
And now when we now investigate, interrogate, analyze, or vet a situation, now we bring facts to the table, and now we get to that which is proven through these particular facts, and that the appearance of that which is realistic, regardless of whatever the subject is, that can be proven through fact, ends up being the truth.
So truth and reality are not the same thing.
They go hand in hand, but just because something is real doesn't mean that it's true.
Give me an example.
So capitalism is a reality in this system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the world that we live in, it's
Right.
real.
Right.
Okay. Is it truly a system that benefits all people and allows everybody an opportunity? Is this truly a government of the people, for the people, and by the people?
Yeah. No, not at all.
No, not at all. But we do have capitalism. We do have a constitution that runs the country that we're in. But as you now know from watching the documentary Plutocracy,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a government of the people, for the people, by the people. It is a government of corporations, by corporations, and for corporations.
Yep.
But you give the people, the citizens, the illusion that it is a government of the people, for the people, by the people, by having political representatives at the local, state, and federal level. And because grassroots people are not truly involved in the process, they disengage. And now those people who are primarily pretty dumb, they continue to put these folks in the positions to give the illusion of that. So that's reality, but it's not true that everybody can benefit in this system.
So a person or a group of people can have a reality that's not based in truth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there can be. So can there be multiple? Well, that's not right. Can there be simultaneous realities?
Exactly. Exactly.
But the reality is going to differ based on one's truth.
Exactly.
And your truth is based on your understanding and your
understanding, your comprehension, your upbringing.
Right.
So one of the things
that's a hell of a system.
One of the things that's very difficult for people to get about this game that we're in, and I feel so bad for people, this is, if the people that's on this call, they need to understand one thing. If they don't understand anything else that I say, the world that we live in is not a one-dimensional reality. This is a multi-dimensional, and when I say goddamn multi-dimensional, I ain't talking about no damn 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional. This is a goddamn complex dimensional game that we're in. So yes, multiple realities can exist. For example, just take religion. You can believe that there is Jesus. Now, is that true? Well, no, but you can believe it. You can believe in Allah. Is that true? No, but if you believe, it doesn't have to be proven true because the belief says that it is true.
That's right.
And so now to argue with a person who has that belief and try to produce facts, which you see on goddamn YouTube all the time. I send you videos where these Negroes be going at it for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours.
That's right.
Trying to convince somebody who believes that Allah, Buddha, Jesus is real and it is true, and you can show them all of the stuff you want to show them, but that's not going to change their perspective on the issue. And so that's where now, boom, the Jesus person doesn't believe in Allah, the Allah person doesn't believe in Jesus. And so those things are happening simultaneously, but neither one of them are actually true, but the people believe that they're true. So in their premise, it is true. And it's the craziest thing. I remember, I don't know if I said this the other week, but I remember when I was telling my grandmother in 1995, when she said prayer changes things, and I said, no, grandmother, I've come to believe that prayer without action changes nothing. And I told you, she said to my mom that I didn't believe in prayer.
Right.
And so when I broke it down for my mom, it's like, oh, I get it. You can pray, but if you don't do something, nothing is going to happen for you.
Right.
And so, but because I said something different than the cliche that my grandmother was used to hearing, she took that as I didn't believe in prayer.
Right.
So yeah, all of these things can actually exist simultaneously.
So you believe in a higher power, creator, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that was a bad example or not, because if you call the creator, and I call the creator Allah, same creator. So
now let me make sure.
All right, come on. Because my understanding is that Allah is just another word for God. Go ahead.
So let me break this down.
Come on.
Because there's one sister years ago. She said, now we were supposed to be talking about some goddamn grants. And she said, I hear you use the term creator quite a bit. She said, what's the name for your creator? I said, creator. and so she said, no, your creator got to have a name.
You said, why?
I said, let's just talk about the grants.
Okay.
Because you're not prepared to have this conversation. And she said, no, I want to know. I said, okay. I said, let me ask you something. I said, do you have a mother and a father? And so she said, of course. I said, does your mother and father have a name? She said, yeah. I said, what's your mama's name? So let's say she said Mary. I said, what's your dad's name? So let's say she said John. I said, they have names, right? That's Mary and John. I said, so what do you call your mother and your father? She said, I call them mama, daddy, mother and father.
Yeah.
So I said, wait a minute now. Now I'm confused. If your mama got a name, and her name is Mary, and your daddy got a name, and his name is John. Why you don't call him by their first name? Look at what she said.
Respect.
That would be disrespectful. So I said, see, this is how you got to get people to goddamn think.
Uh-huh.
So I said, let me get it straight. So it would be disrespectful to call your goddamn mom and your goddamn daddy by their goddamn name. But you believe that the entity who creates your goddamn mom and your dad can be referred to.
Gotta have a name. Yeah.
Girl, that's my face. Yeah, like a thing in Louisiana, girl, bye. Girl, bye.
All right, next question. Okay, so in episode 48 and 49, we spoke about some of the illusions that America pushes on people to have us think that we have equality, we have ownership, blah, 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 blah. So can you quickly give us one or two of the most common, the more common illusions that America has done such a good job of having us believe?
Yeah, that your ass is free.
Okay.
That's number one.
All right, you got to explain that one.
So the premise in America as of February the 1st, 1865, for us, with the passage of the 13th Amendment, the ratification happened, I think, December the 6th, 1865. The premise was that we were free. All right, so what ends up happening immediately after, on February the 1st, they start to erect black codes.
That's right.
Okay, so the black codes were intended to do what? Create another system of enslavement.
That's right.
Through the penal system.
Yep.
Hence the concept of slavery by another name.
Right.
You can go to the YouTube and look up that video. White boy did a great job of putting that book and documentary together. Yep. Slavery by another name. And so here you are, just chilling, you know. Hell, man, we ain't gotta go to Master Tucker's today, and goddamn sheriff come up, scoop you up. Hey, y'all in violation of the law. What you mean? Y'all ain't got no job. So you're lottering. Now I gotta take your fucking ass to jail. Wait a minute, man, we just standing up. No. We free. No.
No.
No. You're only free because we say so or we allow that. So that's one. Number two is this whole premise of integration. Yeah, this whole premise of integration that has been pushed on us for the past 57 years. And that's all an illusion. Mm-hmm. But the white folks figured it out. If we now give them the belief that they have integrated and we like their punk ass, we can get all of their money. We can get all of their money now and still treat them like food.
That's right.
And of course, Martin Luther King and other people who push the integrationist agenda help them do this. And so, bam, another illusion. I'm a part of the Democratic Party. We different than the Republican Party. And both of them don't know, the Negro don't know that the Republicans and the Democrats, the shot callers,
yep,
they all go to lunch and dinner together.
That's right. That's right.
They brothers, they sorority sisters. It's all a game. Mm-hmm. The Negro takes it for real. And so it's like, our man is gonna beat your man. And they all work together. Donald Trump, I told people before Donald Trump won office, I was like, Donald Trump is a Democrat. No, Donald Trump is a Republican. Look, man, Donald Trump is a Democrat. And he's always been a Democrat. The Democrats put him in the race in order to now create the worst of two evils between he and Hillary Clinton in order to now drive people, Negroes, to vote for Hillary Clinton, but it backfired. And so now he gets in office. Now the whole agenda was to help to destroy the Republican Party from within. But if you're not understanding the game, and now I tell you that, you're not going to believe it, so you keep your mouth shut. So the illusion becomes reality. This is a game of chess, human chess. And if you don't understand the rules of engagement, you'll never figure it out.
Right.
So those are just a few of the illusions in terms of freedom, integration, and being so-called Democrat.
All right. So you spoke earlier. You mentioned earlier about the programming that takes place every day. That of course feeds into the whole illusion of America. So can you give one or two examples of how we are being programmed every single day?
Yeah, I mean, one of the easiest ways is goddamn Palmer Courtland and goddamn Victor Newman.
Who?
You probably don't.
I do not.
You need your ass whipped. No, you don't know Palmer Courtland? All my children. Victor Newman?
No, I don't know that. No.
But that's the first. Look, for years, the daytime soap opera would program the mind of stay-at-home moms. So through all of your entertainment genres, all of them, sports entertainment, movie entertainment, television entertainment, news entertainment, governmental politics entertainment, every facet of your daily existence, you're being bombarded every day.
That's right.
By entities. Whatever is a necessary thing in your life or in the lives of people, they're going to create an entertainment component and stars, individuals who will influence your thought process in those particular areas, in every realm. So now you have social media. In the social media realm, it is just now wild, wild west. And so now you have social media influencers, just like you have mass media influencers. And that's why I say the number one way that they do this to influence this behavior, that's the number one weapon that they use. It's not AKAs and 49s and 44s and 45s and all that. Those are the hardware things, but they deal with this from a mental perspective on a daily basis through music, through sports, through movies, through television, through literature, through all of these things.
Right.
And so now if you allow one or two people to come through and make millions and billions of dollars, they help to spell the illusion of inclusion and the illusion of the American system, to the masses.
Right.
So now, I tell you all the time, the thing that Malcolm didn't understand and Garvey didn't understand, none of our grassroots people understood. They tried to totally disconnect the system. Can't do that because the system is real, right? This is a reality for what we're in. Yeah, we don't care about necessarily the money because we're operating on a spiritual and cultural level. But in order for us to help our people, guess what? We gotta get the goddamn bag.
That's right.
Gotta get the bag.
Yeah.
We gotta leverage money, status, and materialism, but we can't do it the way that they do it. So that's where we gotta come up with the perspective in order to now maneuver. The best case example I can give you, and had the Nation of Islam not been a criminal enterprise, it would have worked perfectly. And that's when Malcolm, and by the way, I think next week is coming out the documentary on Netflix called Blood Brothers, between Malcolm and Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
See, it was Malcolm who cultivated Cassius Clay into believing that he could win that fight against Sonny Liston. The Nation of Islam had a hands-off policy about being in sports because they didn't even understand how you could get in an enlightened person who got skills in sports. You position them in the goddamn sports arena and they become champions. Now they got the world at their
That's right.
promotional agenda.
Right.
It was Malcolm's idea to do that in order to gain favor. You learn this also through the movie One Night in Miami. When you do the research, you'll see it. Malcolm was trying to get back into the nation because now he saw that he had outran his flank and all of the mechanisms that he thought would be out there. He saw, man, this thing is way more complex than what he looked at. So when Ali won, oh, that's our dude. That's our dude. Knowing goddamn well they didn't believe he was going to beat Sonny Liston, number one. And number two, they didn't even want him. It was supposed to be hands off for Muslims to be in sport.
Right.
In the Nation of Islam.
Okay. Cool. So if you missed the beginning of the show, you're watching the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America, Africa, and the diaspora. Tonight's show is our 51st episode and is titled The Illusion of Choice versus the Reality of Predetermined Selection, Escaping the Matrix with Critical Thinking. My name is Tamani Mwandani. I'm the founder of the Black Nation Movement, and my co-host is Brother Craig B. Lee, who's our National Director of Political Strategy and Implementation. All right, Brother Craig, next question. Why go to such lengths to create chaos and confusion to maintain power and control? What's the big deal with power and control? Why go to so much effort?
What did I tell you I just finished doing before I got on this call?
I don't know what you say.
I cut my damn yard.
Cut the yard, yeah.
People with power don't want to cut their damn yard. They don't want to do the menial chores. They want other people to do them.
Right.
I said, and then this didn't start with no white folks. It started with us.
Okay.
And I thought about this in Africa. I said, what? And I get it. You know, you had some intelligent cats like us sitting up, trying to figure out how to make the water system better every damn day and how to improve the damn village. And, you know, everybody else running around naked and playing. And we still got to do the same damn chores that they got to do. Plus, we trying to think about how to advance the village. Man, we got to figure out a way to put their ass to work. So we ain't got to do it. That's where this comes from.
Okay.
It's an elitist mindset. And it might have started off with our people kind of sort of in a good way. But when you have power of thought over people and the average person is just goo goo gaga every day and just bruh, you can treat people real bad. Yeah. And if you go to the movie, The Book of Eli, right? The damn villain is in search of what?
The Bible.
The damn Bible. Why was he in search of the Bible?
To control people.
Because he said it was written in such a way. It was written in such a way that it's like to control them, and it was so cleverly done. So now, when you create the illusion of choice, which now helps, and then we got to also talk about this other one. All the research I've been doing on Facebook for these past decades, the number one word that everybody loves when they don't know what the hell they talking about. I have a right to my own opinion. Reverend W.L. McAfee, I was doing a lecture back in 1996, and this one chick didn't know what she was talking about after the lecture. And Reverend McAfee checked her, and so she didn't know, she couldn't go any deeper. And so she said, well, I have a right to my own opinion. This is the first time I ever heard anybody say this. He said, no, you don't. And it shocked her. And Rev broke down what the word opinion really means.
Right.
And he said, unless you have understanding, comprehension, knowledge about the subject that you're talking about, you don't have a right to an opinion because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
That's right.
And so follow me now. This is how cold-blooded the English capitalistic system is. The same thing that a judge renders, Supreme Court, what do they render after hearing all the evidence in the case?
An opinion.
Okay. So you want me to believe that you you want me to believe you're gonna render the same damn thing that a Supreme Court justice renders, and your ass don't know nothing but some damn gossip you done heard, you ain't read nothing, you don't understand that. Now, what do you have a right to? You don't have a right to your own opinion.
Oh, your own feelings, your emotions.
There you go. Yeah. You have a right to your, no matter how retarded your damn feelings are, you have a right to them. Right. Okay? But your feelings ain't no goddamn opinion.
Right.
But look at how they will, in the English language, they'll make you kind of believe that opinions are kind of sort of the same as a, but see, now you got to think.
That's right.
Does a judge just operate off his damn feelings, or does he operate off of facts and the information that's coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So you create the chaos and the confusion in order for power, those in power, to make off with the bag.
Right. Which they do. Okay. Okay.
That's why you create the chaos and confusion. And the best thing, and we can go to the next question, the best creation for them, goddamn social media.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I send you videos. I know one time I sent you a goddamn video. I think the people were talking about something for 6 goddamn hours.
That's crazy, man.
And you said, what the hell you want me to look at this for? I said, I don't want you to look at it. Just look at the time that they are spending talking about, is Jesus real, or is Allah greater than, bruh?
Yeah.
If we were to put that type of intellect into something real,
yes, sir,
and substantive for our people, oh, we could be so far.
Our reality would be different. That's right. Okay. So tonight's show title is The Illusion of Choice versus the Reality of Predetermined Selection. So we talked about illusion, choice, reality. Now let's get into this predetermined selection thing. What do you mean by predetermined selection?
So I need to select. We're gonna select somebody. We're gonna select Nauru. So this is an example of predetermined selection. So we need Nauru. I need Nauru to tell me, is he pro-choice concerning the issue of abortion? Is he pro-choice or pro-life?
Oh, I'm about life, bro. But you know, I ain't trying to control the women's body, but I'm about life.
All right, so you're pro-life. So Tamani, I just did a pre-selection.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you said, Nauru, like, what the hell you mean you just did pre? I gave you the option. And so now I've defined the reality, and I've had you to respond to the question based on what I said. Now, somebody asked me that same question, and I said neither. And the chick said, no, you got to be one or the other. I said, no, ma'am. Because like Nauru, I said, I'm against abortion, but I'm also against the government controlling what the female does with her body.
Right.
So I have another goddamn option. So I laid it out for him. I said, I feel that a female, unless it's incest, rape, or threat of her life, she should have to make sure she consults the family of the guy, or if he wants to be involved, he needs to know. And before any type of abortion, even thought comes up, her family, his family, other people who could potentially take the child and raise the child in a productive environment. So that's a whole nother option.
That's right.
So that's when you're going beyond the realm of predetermined selection. So that's an example of a predetermined selection. When I set the table for you and say, select one or the other.
Right. So we think we have choice, but we don't. Right. Because we don't think. We believe we have choice.
You bypass the thinking process and go straight to belief. That's why it's so hard to get them to consider something different, hence the concept of cognitive dissonance.
Right.
So when now new information comes up, they clash.
Right.
But keep on going.
Okay, so
we believe what now?
We believe that we believe we have choice, but it's actually predetermined selection, and that they are giving us the options to choose from, which is not what choice. And because we don't critically think, we're not thinking about, wait a minute, goddamn it. Just like the question you just asked.
Exactly. So now, hold on, let me select somebody else. Let's see who else on the call. Mike. Oh, Mike. Oh, this is gonna be good. Brother Mike, here's your question. Are you Democrat? Are you Republican?
I'm independent.
I didn't know he ran for the damn Democrat. He know he ran for a position in the Democratic.
I'm for the Mississippi Democratic Freedom Party.
All right, good go. Now you're thinking, because that was another predetermined selection.
Right.
And so you got to go beyond what they give you. That's when they know if you respond to the question, they know they got you.
Right. Okay. So you stated multiple times, and you said it earlier, that this thing that we're born into, this reality, is multidimensional.
Yeah.
Help us understand what you mean by multidimensional. It's not just what we can physically see. We're not just dealing with that aspect of life. We're dealing with other stuff as well.
Yeah, you're dealing with light and darkness simultaneously, hence evil and righteousness. You're dealing with a person who could do good things 1 minute, but simultaneously be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with a system who can create the illusion of being, for example, we just had Hurricane Ida to come through Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got a lot of folks from South Louisiana up here in Shreveport. We weren't impacted by the storm because we're 320 miles away from New Orleans. And so I saw some military trucks taking items and whatnot. So it's like, ooh, the military, they're humanitarian, they're so nice. Simultaneously, they were trying to take over and destroy Afghanistan for the past few decades.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these things are existing at the same time. So that's one dimension, evil, 2 dimension, good. These particular things could also exist in one person simultaneously. And so you got to be able to rationalize this and think about it in a very clever way. Mm-hmm. So you don't just get caught up in saying, oh man, that dude would never do that. No, I refuse to believe that he would do that. Or I refuse to believe that she would do that. It's impossible. But those things can exist simultaneously, you see?
Gotcha.
So now from a multidimensional perspective, you got to be able to consider all of these things at once. And the only way that you can do that is to unlock, unleash, and activate your third eye, unlock, unleash, and activate your spirituality, because that's the power that the Creator and the ancestors has granted you with, gifted you with. But if you don't unlock it, get that power, and that there's no way you'll be able. It's too many. It's too many complex things. Like if you were to just really think about this whole coronavirus thing, just think about this. You want me to believe that the United States government and the World Health Organization that creates all of these different viruses like Ebola, AIDS, you want me to believe that just out the blue, they're just all of a sudden concerned about the health and well-being of everybody in the world.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden. We need everybody. Okay. I mean, but when you can now create some death, and some of them are connected to the virus, but guess what? Some of them are also connected to the vaccine.
Right.
So now, guess what? Now it's like they got to admit it. So now they're coming out with the booster shot. You see what I'm saying? So is it possible for the United States to be good and evil at the same time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it possible for them to destroy and kill entities while giving humanitarian aid at the same goddamn time?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm listening as I'm listening to you talk about the existence of a multi-dimensional reality and how interwoven it is, how things are so connected. And if you don't have like you said, a spirituality and right culture, if you're not in a certain space in your mind, you will go crazy. So while you were talking, I looked up the definition of psychosis, right?
Yeah.
So the definition of psychosis is an abnormal condition of the mind that results in difficulties determining what is real and what is not real. Symptoms may include delusions and hallucinations. Other symptoms may include incoherent speech and behavior that is inappropriate for the situation. So my next question, which wasn't a question, but you made me research it. Does American society create intentional psychosis?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen based on how they operate.
Yes, sir.
Because you can't think, the average person, look, man, the above average person will never be able to figure this shit out. I mean, brother, go look at that damn near the last interview that Martin Luther King gave when he had to admit that he feared that he had integrated his people into a burning building.
House. That's right.
Here, Martin Luther King say, I gotta admit, this thing of repositioning assets, money is a lot more difficult than integrating the lunch counter. Dude, this thing is way over his head.
Yep.
But guess what? Because he could romanticize the ear of people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, goddamn, was a preacher, and you up here dealing with killers at a negotiating table about equity in terms of this money, and you thought they just gonna give you some goddamn money?
Just because.
It don't work that way.
Right.
You see?
Right. Yeah.
I admit, it's like, damn, this thing is way more complex than I ever thought.
Yeah.
Malcolm, this thing is way more complex. And these guys were smart guys.
Sure.
Ain't like these guys are dumb.
Right. Right. And what's sad about that is that a lot of our people still believe that you are going to either appeal to white people's humanity, or you're going to shame them with the truth, or you're going to embarrass them with the data. They're not going to give you reparations.
No.
Because they don't care about that debt. and you don't have the power to demand anything.
Exactly.
But just like you just said about Martin Luther King came to the realization, and here we are 50 plus years later, and a lot of us still have yet to realize what he realized 50 plus years ago. You know, and that goes to the next question, which is a perfect segue, but I didn't set it up that way. I promise you I did. Then my next question was going to be, what is critical thinking? That's what it was going to be. But based on your definition of choice, is critical thinking and choice the same thing?
No, it's not the same thing but choice uses, again,
critical thinking.
Critical thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're married together, but they're not the same thing.
So tell me what critical thinking is then.
So critical thinking is a higher level of thinking. Okay. I mean, it's like, you know, you got secondary education where you start out in kindergarten, then first grade, second grade, then you go to junior high school, then you go to high school, and if you continue, you go to college, then you got grad school. That's critical thinking. It's a higher level of the thinking process, and in order to engage in that, you got to go through different kinds of case analyses, experiments, and you have to really be willing to put yourself through that. That's why when you announced me as the domino assassin, I engage in dominoes on a regular basis because that game challenges you to think and analyze and reason and use logic. And the majority of people don't play dominoes. They damn sure don't play chess. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not doing things that forces them to analyze, right?
Yeah.
And so I give people the secret to beating me, and although they damn sure they can't beat me, but I tell them the reason that you can't beat me is because my mind is fluid. It's not that they don't win any games. It's just over a period of time, they're not going to win. Like the guy I play against all the time, his winning percentage against me is goddamn historically under 20%. This year he's at 40 goddamn percent. I have to keep the statistical analysis because Negroes like to lie about their goddamn domino game. So I have to keep track of all the information, just like you do in the NBA and the NFL. But my point is, he's now improved. Guess how he improved his winning percentage?
You say, guess how?
Yeah.
By continuing to play you and lose.
Exactly.
Just like the light-skinned brother in fences. I learned a lot from watching you.
Hey, bro. The dude has really increased his winning percentage by 100%. Now janky ass is still, you know, in the sub, category. Like he got no winning record, but he's now double what he normally does. He typically is under 20% against me. Okay. He's now at 40. But he I gotta give it to him. He's been thinking more, analyzing more, and it gives me a chance to really process where he's at. Right. Within overall. If you're not engaging in these types of things, and then paralleling that to this monstrosity of a game that we're in, but I see why a lot of people just goddamn go crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and that goes to my next question. Why, we know people aren't taught how to critically think, but people aren't taught how to think at all.
At all.
So why aren't people taught how to think?
Because then you're gonna be in competition with the goddamn architects.
Which is a no-no, right?
In order for them to execute their game of capitalistic white supremacy and racism, but they don't need no people thinking that.
Right.
See, capitalism is predicated on the creation, maintenance, and expansion of a permanent underclass. And so let's take since a lot of people, these new so-called activists who, advocates, so to speak, the Black Lives Matter, and other folks who want to follow in the footsteps of some of the Black Panthers, namely Fred Hampton and my homeboys, Huey P. Newton, and of course Bobby Seale being from Texas. So let's look at this. So these guys start to think a little bit, right? So it's like they really believe that they were critically thinking. So now what do? We gotta shut down capitalism. So what do they do? They now go and embrace Marxism, communism, socialism, Stalinism. All of those goddamn isms, who's on the bottom in all of those systems?
The black man. And those systems were failing.
Those goddamn systems were failing with the white folks.
Right.
Now, I remember meeting this one sister, and she was talking this whole down with capitalism stuff, and I said, sister, you can't say that. Capitalism is this. Capitalism. I said, sister, you can't say that. Hell with capitalism. I asked her one question. What is capitalism? She said, I don't know.
But I don't like it.
I said, sister, I need you to go do some research and then come back to me and then we'll talk about it. And to my surprise, she actually went and researched it.
Okay.
And she came back and apologized. And I said, sister, here's the reason that you can't eradicate capitalism. And this is what the Black Panthers did not understand and Fred Hampton did not understand. At the core of capitalism is free enterprise. Free enterprise is the African system that our people created. We are the original people of the goddamn planet. We're the original business people of the goddamn planet. We're the original philosophers of the goddamn planet. We are the original every damn thing.
That's right.
So the white folks have taken those things that were being done on the continent and they've wrapped them together and they repackage, they rebrand them. Like what is the name of the planet in our solar system?
The planets?
Yeah, the planet.
All of them?
Yeah, just name a few.
Oh, Saturn, Uranus, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto.
Those are not the names of those goddamn planets.
Okay. Oh, well, you're talking about the original names? I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, per my indoctrination.
So why are those names the names that you name?
Because I was educated by the white man.
No, beyond that, why? Based on what we've been discussing tonight.
Why those planets named what they are?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because the goddamn people in power named the goddamn planet.
Okay.
And they eliminated any knowledge, information about the original name
No
of
doubt.
the guy.
No doubt. As they do with everything else. Yeah, no doubt.
What do we say power is? The ability to what? Define reality.
Yep. And have others operate as if it was their own. Yeah.
So look at how I set you up.
Yeah.
I said, what's the name of the planet? Because I know you was going to say Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune.
Right.
That ain't the goddamn names of the damn planets. But that's the name that they rebranded them.
That's right.
with.
Yeah, no doubt.
You see?
Yep.
That's how this works. But you got to have what in order to do that?
Power.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So another perfect segue to the next question. The Merovingian in the first clip states, why is the only real source of power? Without it, you are powerless. Right? He says, why is the only real source of power? Without it, you are powerless. So is critical thinking the ability to ask why and then obtain the answer?
No.
All right.
Critical thinking is not the ability to simply ask why. Critical thinking is the ability to ask the WH formula. Why is just one component of the WH formula. And what's that? If y'all don't learn nothing else from me, you better learn this tonight. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. That is what sets the stage for critical thinking. Not just why. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. And that will now open you up to Pandora's box of critical thinking.
Cool. All right. So this next video, Neo goes to meet the architect, who explains to him the history of the Matrix as well as himself. So for us, the video clip highlights the importance and the power of those who ask why, and the WH, which is the critical thinker. So we're going to watch this one last brief clip, and then we will sum this thing up. So give me a quick share my screen.
Hello, Neo.
Who are you?
I am the architect. I created the Matrix. I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. Concordantly, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant.
Why am I here?
Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the Matrix. You are the eventuality of an anomaly which, despite my sincerest efforts, I have been unable to eliminate from what is otherwise a harmony of mathematical precision. While it remains a burden assiduously avoided, it is not unexpected and thus not beyond a measure of control, which has led you inexorably here.
You haven't answered my question.
Quite right. Interesting. That was quicker than the others.
Others? What? Answer my
The Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the 6th version.
5 months before. There are only 2 possible explanations. There were 5 months before. Either no one told me, or no one knows.
Precisely. As you are undoubtedly gathering, the anomaly is systemic, creating fluctuations in even the most simplistic equations.
You can't make me do anything.
Choice. The problem is choice.
The first Matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime, a triumph equaled only by its monumental failure. The inevitability of its doom is apparent to me now as a consequence of the imperfection inherent in every human being. Thus I redesigned it, based on your history, to more accurately reflect the varying grotesqueries of your nature. However, I was again frustrated by failure. I have since come to understand that the answer eluded me because it required a lesser mind, or perhaps a mind less bound by the parameters of perfection. Thus, the answer was stumbled upon by another, an intuitive program, initially created to investigate certain aspects of the human psyche. If I am the father of the Matrix, she would undoubtedly be its mother.
The Oracle.
Please. As I was saying, she stumbled upon a solution whereby nearly 99% of all test subjects accepted the program as long as they were given a choice, even if they were only aware of the choice at a near unconscious. While this answer functioned, it was obviously fundamentally flawed, thus creating the otherwise contradictory systemic anomaly that, if left unchecked, might threaten the system itself. Ergo, those that refuse the program, while a minority, if unchecked, would constitute an escalating probability of disaster.
I'm Zion.
You are here because Zion is about to be destroyed. Its every living inhabitant terminated, its entire existence eradicated.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Denial is the most predictable of all human responses. But rest assured, this will be the 6th time we have destroyed it, and we have become exceedingly efficient at it.
All right. All right. So, oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. I think click that up. All right. So, what is the most powerful aspect of that clip to you?
I mean, he's letting them understand you are one of several entities who serve as the anomaly for this system. 90 and you saw the percentage that they gave, 99%.
Yeah.
If we give them the illusion of choice, 99% of the people gonna roll with this shit.
Right.
But 1% of y'all ass, 1% of y'all ass gonna figure out we running a game. And therefore, Neo being one of them, in the movie Divergent,
yep.
Those who would not fit into one particular category, but factions, they were considered to be similar to Neo. They now began to cause, shall I say, trouble for the architects, because now if they start to recruit people and say, hey man, we can do this a different damn way,
right.
Now you're messing up the mix, so we got to take you out, bro.
Right.
And that's what he's letting them know, that you're not the first. You just don't know the real history.
That's right.
And Neo is saying like either they
they didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they don't know, and he confirmed that. So that's the most important aspect. But he's now, I thought this was very telling, because they're letting you see that white supremacy is right in front of you. White supremacy is right there showing you, I'm the architect of this game, and we're setting it up so all of you all can believe now, not think, but believe that you have choice.
Choice, right. So this is what he says, and then this last two questions, and then we're done. This is the quote. He said, as I was saying, she stumbled upon the solution whereby nearly 99% of all test subjects accept the program as long as they were given a choice, even if they were only aware of the choice at a near unconscious level. He said, while this sensor functioned, it was obviously fundamentally flawed, thus creating the otherwise contradictory systemic anomaly. But if left unchecked, might threaten the system itself. Ergo, those that refuse the program, while a minority, if unchecked, constitute an escalating probability of disaster.
Yes, sir.
So as it relates to our 6 factions, who is the architect describing? Who as it relates to Black Gold Nation, 6 factions, who is the contradictory systemic anomaly?
That's the melanated grassroots hybrid.
Hot damn. And how do we know that?
And because they have the connection to the grassroots while simultaneously being critical thinkers that can maneuver in the public and private sector, and they understand the total system and game that we're in, and they can come up with the solutions. And so you got to stop those people. Those are the people that have to be stopped.
That's right.
And that's the anomaly that he's talking about. You stop those people, now it ain't no hope for the other individuals.
It's checkmate for everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unlike the movie, that's why we are focused on not only identifying and locating, but also raising as many Neos as we can, because we understand that contradictory systemic anomaly is, goddamn it, our Malcolm X and everybody else that we need.
And the other thing about this too, Tamani, is you hear a lot of these folks nowadays talk about they don't need any leadership. They don't need. It's the craziest thing.
Asinine.
The Eurocentric philosophy that controls this physical world that we're in, and of course the creator is ultimately in control. The creator allows this to happen because good people are just punks. That's just the bottom line. The evil people, there are more good people in the world than evil people.
Sure.
But good people are just punks. They're
Right.
scared.
Yep.
And so it takes the anomaly, the hybrid, to step up and show. But a lot of times the hybrid gets worn out. He gets tired because you're having to battle not only the forces of evil from the white folks, but you got to battle these goddamn sellouts.
Your own damn people, right?
So that's why you got to know how to get quiet. And
you're muted, Craig.
As mobilize, organize with those individuals who are of like mind.
That's right. That's right.
And rock and roll.
You got to have a group, got to have a tribe, got to have a squad. Because as you always say, goddamn, this is a team sport, and you're not gonna win if you ain't got no team. All right, Brother Craig, one last question. And you said this earlier, but I'm gonna give you another chance. You get one takeaway. If you can only give everybody on the call one takeaway from tonight's show that they will keep with them for the rest of their lives and never ever forget it, what would that one takeaway be?
Hell, I done gave about damn 4.
Right.
Damn. I know the WH formula. That's the basis of critical thinking. It's not just a why, as the Miravengi said in the movie. It's not just the why. It's the WH formula. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. If you learn that and apply that to anything that you are trying to analyze before you jump in and make a decision, especially if you are having some issues at work or wherever, or you're trying to do a program or project or business, who, what, when, where, why, and how. Every single time, you'll be all right.
Excellent. All right. Well, that concludes tonight's show. We're gonna open this thing up for Q&A. Brother Naru has turned his camera on, so our brother's gonna kick it off. Brother Naru.
Yeah. It was a good one, man.
I know, right?
Good one. I have several questions, but I'll try to keep it brief because I know we're over time. Craig, since we are humans and we have an exploration date, do those in power pass that power on? Like, is it a lineage by blood, or is there some other type of ritualistic event that passes this power to future generations?
And that's a great question.
Awesome question.
And the answer is yes.
Hell yeah.
And that's why they established their institutions in order to incubate those individuals. And Naru, when most people would just say white supremacy, racism, and they really don't know what either one of those things are. But when you hear me lay this out, I always start with what? The philosophy.
Right, the philosophy. That's right.
The system and the game of capitalistic white supremacy, racism. I know that's a lot to say, but that's why I say it, because they put the philosophy in place through their institutions, and the institutions then recruit younger and younger people in order to plug them in to the philosophy, the system, and the game as to how they're supposed to maneuver and their role in this whole deal. we are fed the Eurocentric belief of individualism, I, my, me. So we're fed the opposite of operating as a collective. This is a collective game. You cannot win this game as an individual. And even if you believe you can, you will have to hook or crook, run over and mess over so many people. And now you're basing that perceived success on the physical world that has been defined by you, by your enemy. So you're gonna lose in the real world with the creator and the ancestors. Because although you can't see it right now, because good people have not mobilized, organized, energized themselves, and galvanized themselves to fight this battle, but this is on a mental level. It ain't no goddamn 45 and no AKs. It ain't that game. You got to be prepared if they come for you to defend yourself, but you don't even want to play that game because they love to kill.
You're going to lose.
You're going to lose, bro. You're going to lose.
Man, that's a good one. That kind of ties into the other one. So do the corporations who have power and control, can they be taken down by other corporations who amass more wealth and power?
Well, they can't be taken down because based on your first question, that's why they can't be taken down. You're not taking down the Rothschilds. You ain't taking down the goddamn Waltons because they got trillions of dollars because it's been going on for legacy. The way that we can win in the corporate game with our corporations is to lock down, and it ain't got to be no damn 70, 80, 90% of African American disposable income. A consortium of us working together, nonprofit, for-profit corporations. Nauru, we locked down 30% of $1.5 trillion. Nauru, that's 450 billion goddamn dollars. Okay? We now are in control. See, we don't have to worry about them. We worry about ourselves. We have to understand and comprehend them and their philosophy, system, and game. But we can't do nothing really about that.
Okay, hold on. I think you misunderstood. I wasn't really talking about us. I was talking about them among themselves. Like I imagine that they all don't agree and that some might be infighting and trying to take each other down a certain way to get more power. That's what I was more addressing.
There ain't no, those type of white folks don't exist. They try to knock each other off, yes, but to be the next plutocrat because they want to be in power. So I understand where you were going, but what I'm saying to you, we can establish our own corporate power structure.
Oh no, I know that already. Yeah, I was just more or less talking about how they do their thing in fighting or whatever. You know, that was I was.
Yeah. Those entities. Trust me, the Jeff Bezos, the damn Mark Zuckerberg, the new.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Right.
Trust me, they are gangster, capitalistic ass crackers as well.
No doubt. Okay, last one. I hear you talk about the creator a lot. And I think I heard you say the creator allows this to happen. Why do you think that is? Why do you think a creator who is of love is allowing this type of stuff to take place?
Well, I don't believe the creator is simply about love. Again, we're not in a just one-dimensional thing. I think love exists, but also the creator is one of force and one of like a parent. I might have to whoop your ass sometime, but then I might hug your punk ass. I might have to tell you to cut the yard, but then I might give you a cake. You see what I'm saying? So the creator is multifaceted, multidimensional. But to answer your question specifically, it's all based on, and I've learned this being in this process for 26 years, the curriculum that I'm given, because I've been willing to sacrifice.
You muted, brother.
Hold on, somebody was trying to call, my bad. But the curriculum that I'm given is different than the curriculum that a regular person would be given, because I've been willing to now sacrifice my life. So what I've come to realize about why the creator does this, You can go to the story in the Bible, Naru, for the book of Job.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
So you say, well, Job, the scripture say he was a perfect and upright man, one that sheweth evil and rose straight up with the Creator. So when you look at that story, you know, and it's a metaphor for life, so-called Satan is having a conversation with so-called God. And the question is not posed by Satan, but so-called God is asking Satan, so what's been up today? Oh, I've been running to and fro trying to recruit people. Who offers the conversation up about Job? So-called God. Hast thou not considered my humble servant Job, and that there are none like him on earth, a perfect and upright man? What did Satan say? Hell no, I ain't checked out Job, because you got that hedge around his punk ass. But if you remove that hedge, I guarantee you he will curse your ass. Okay, I'll take that bet. So what's my point? The Creator does these things to good people. Here's the reason, Naru. You can't just physically say, you can't just verbally say that you believe in the Creator. I roll with the Creator. Guess what? Your punk ass got to be tested. You got to go through some damn fire. So here's the question, Naru. Here's the question for you. I'm going to prove it to you. What is the natural color of a diamond?
Black.
How does it get to be this shiny, beautiful thing that females wear on their finger, around their neck, on their ears? Even dudes want some of that goddamn ice and bling bling. How does it get to be that shiny thing if it starts out black? How does it get to be that way?
It's pressure.
Come on, brother. There you go. Hercules.
I gotta go through the goddamn fire now.
Naru got a gold star.
They gotta go through the damn fire, Naru. They gotta go through pressure, Naru.
True that.
Why the Creator does this. And for those of us who understand it, as we go back to the movie this past weekend, Fences, you got to be able to take the goddamn crooked
with the streets. That's right.
True that. Hey, y'all nailed it. That's it, bro. That's it.
All right, cool. Does anybody else have a question or comment? Thank you, Brother Naru. Question or comment for Brother Craig? Brother Terry?
Yeah, just want to say thank you. I've been watching these programs. I've watched them in the past. I also just started back because Craig and I reunited, and he's been hitting me up, to watch these programs, and I just want to say thank you. It's great to be with a group of other individuals that are, I don't want to say like-minded, but we're all learning from each other.
Yeah.
And trying to develop each other through this process. And we have to, like Craig said, and he and I met recently when I was in Louisiana, you can't do this alone. And just explain now, you're not going to be able to do these things alone.
That's right.
To improve our communities, to improve our lifestyles.
Yes, sir.
To find our part in this puzzle, because the system is built, as you cleverly put everything together tonight to show through the movie The Matrix. And I told Craig the other day, he and I talked about The Matrix, and I told him that this is one of my favorite movies because it brings you to thinking, the ones that actually look at it for that perspective. And I just want to say it's really enlightening, and I'm looking forward to more engagement on this, on all these subjects.
Cool.
Beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, to my Terry and I, we were childhood friends when I got kicked out of school at West Shreveport, and I had to start going to Central. This became my childhood partner in the third goddamn grade.
Third grade, yeah.
And
wow.
Okay. Man, this cat is one of the most brilliant cats in the world, man. And his specialty is in the security logistics industry, man. And it's just great that he is stepping up and reconnected with me and doing some things here in Shreveport. And I'm just thankful that we are still alive to now do some things that we never even thought about doing when we were children.
Not at all. Yeah.
But thank you for being here, Brother Terry. This is our 51st episode, so hopefully you'll be around for the 101st. So thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sister Devotion.
Peace and light, brothers, soul family. Tonight was another excellent episode. Thank you, Brother Tamani. Thank you, Brother Craig. As always, you know, you just peeled the orange back and just gave us the flesh. And I was actually thinking while you were talking about delusions in the system, another huge illusion that we need to break through, and we will, the more we have that spiritual, right, cultured mentality, is time. You know, time is such a huge illusion, and that's another reason why this industry corporation, as we know it, has been able to really continue to get over. And it's one thing that was mentioned in the second clip of the Neo one that we saw. It's been forever since I saw that movie. I have to go back and watch it and digest it again. But I believe he mentioned something about the Oracle being able to break through a lot because of intuition. Yeah. And the intuition component allows us to really dip into this multi-dimensional universe, or omniverse. It's not even a universe.
You're right. That's right.
This omniverse, and be able to be rightly guided through spiritual laws, universal laws, ancestors, creator. And I think the more we tap into that, that will help unlock our minds, and we'll be able to kind of really pull ourselves out of this whole mess, for lack of a better word. But thank you.
You hit Devotion, you hit it right on the head. And you know, another illusion, as you were just talking, and this is the greatest illusion. This is the greatest illusion that the white folks have set up. And the illusion is that when you're born into the world, you're born by yourself. Devotion, why is that the greatest illusion that the white folks promote to the world?
Because once you feel that you're born by yourself, then you have to look to be a part of, I want to say, a clan or a team, and you're looking for their guidance. I'm just saying.
Okay. Let me tell you why it's the greatest illusion. See, when you believe that you are alone, it sets the stage for the Eurocentric programming of I, my, me.
Individualism.
Afrocentric perspective, philosophy of collectivism, us, our, we. When you're born with billions of people inside of you. What do I mean? When your mother and father, and here's the question.
Okay.
If you go back just 10 generations, 200 years, what's your life day? What day were you born on?
15th of September.
Okay, September 15th, what year? 19 what?
64.
Okay, 64. So if we go back September the 15th, 200 years, 1764, approximately, you don't have to give me the exact number, but approximately how many people on your maternal side and your paternal side had to come together to bring you into existence?
Wow, that's deep. So we're talking ancestors of how many generations? 10. Yes.
So about how many people? Approximately.
Hundreds, I don't know.
The number, and I'll send you the equation, is 2,046.
2,000.
1,023 on your maternal side 1,023 on your paternal side. All of those people
Mhm.
with you when you're born.
Wow.
But see, you don't know that because the system says you're what?
You're born alone.
Alone.
Individual, yes.
But see, individualism is different than understanding that you're an individual that's a part of a collective. Individualism says, I, me. When you have an individual that's a part of collectivism, you are part of the whole. You're already born part of the whole. Even if you didn't have a mother or father, you already got this in you.
Wow, that's rich.
That's why spirituality, understanding what it really is so important, because it's the power source that connects you to the creator. And when you can unlock, unleash, and activate it, it serves also as a protection, your armor against evil. And it lays the foundation for you to learn how to become who you are supposed to become, not who you are. Like when you're born, that's who you are, because you can't determine who your mother and father are, right? So, but you can evolve even if you come from a messed up environment. Even if you come from a messed up environment, there's some ancestors inside of you who have paved the way. You just got to unlock, unleash, and activate your spirituality and your third eye connect, and you can propel. That's why they got to keep the majority of people stupid. That's why they got to keep them spiritually blind, their mind wrapped up, while simultaneously having them to believe that they're making choices. That's a gangster game.
That is. And keep divided. Keep people divided.
That's right. On purpose.
Well, you're going to be divided. Look, Devotion, you're going to be divided. This one sister, people come to me with all kinds of philosophies and, they be testing stuff out on me. And this one chick said, she says, Craig, I know why all these relationships end in separation and divorce. And I said, okay, what you got? What you got? She said we do the wrong math. I said, okay, what kind of crazy stuff she coming with? She said, Craig, what is 1 + 1? And I said 2. And before Devotion, she could get it out of her mouth. She said, what is 1 × 1? I said, ooh. Because I was just reading, this was years ago, but I was starting to read the book on Metaneta, right? The Egyptian mysticism, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And within the Metaneta, within the first few pages, they talk about the law of what? Multiplicity. Now, what happens if you got one individual and another individual in the same house, under the same roof, even if they're so-called married, but they're adding instead of multiplying? You got 2 individuals now in that house with 2 individual philosophies, 2 individual perspectives, and that shit ain't gonna never work. But what happens if you got one whole individual with another whole individual and they multiply? 1 × 1 is what now, Devotion?
1.
So now you can multiply 1 a gazillion times, and what do you get, Devotion?
1.
But if you add 1 a million times, what do you get, Devotion?
Million.
That's what causes the goddamn chaos in consciousness.
Brother Craig, talk dirty to me.
Speaking of Brother Craig, we got another Craig on Facebook that asked a question. And you answered it earlier, but he asked, so I'm going to ask it. He says, how do you stop getting tired of the struggle from within the community and outside the community as a leader? That's what Brother Craig is asking.
That's where embracing spirituality comes in, organic right culture comes in, and being able to have some outlet. For me, I whoop ass on the domino table. For me, I take short road trips. I go dance. you know, I remember one time, somebody, I was out, I did a lecture at Grambling, and I was out at the club just hanging out. And a student who saw me do my lecture, that dude comes up to me at the club, how dare you be out?
You damn human, you.
How dare you be human?
Right, right.
Well, I'm from the goddamn streets, man. I'm going to drink some goddamn Grey Goose every now and then. Listen, bro, I roll with the hood, but to be enlightened and to be conscious don't mean you can't have some good times.
Man,
and
you go crazy. You go crazy if you don't have some good times.
That's how your ass go crazy.
That's right.
And so you got to be balanced. But that's a great question. But spirituality, embracing spirituality, right, Coach, and being connected to, don't ever set yourself up to not be connected to your people.
Right.
Do not ever do that.
So before we get to Brother Terry, who might have another question, Najib, did you have a question?
My partner here.
As a brother?
Well, I didn't have no question, but it's good to see you again, Craig, man. I've been out of town and I seen it on Facebook. Let me grab on to Craig, man.
Let's go, brother.
Cool. All right, Brother Terry, you have another question? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, brother Bay, we in the coming month or so, we'll get you to do your thing.
Say that again. I heard half of what you said.
In the coming months, we're gonna get you to do your thing at Tuesday morning breakfast.
Okay. Okay.
Brother Terry, you got another question?
No, I didn't. I just had my mic open.
Okay.
Cool.
Solid. All right, no problem. So does anyone else have a question or comment for Brother Craig? Everybody good? Going once, going twice. All right, Brother Craig, closing comments.
Hey, bro, I just want to say thank you guys for participating. This was a great discussion. I'm glad Tamani actually refreshed me on this with him looking at the second Matrix. And that's why these movies are so important. Steve Coakley, the African Human Encyclopedia, said it best. Study that goddamn movie. They so arrogant, they're gonna tell you the truth in their movies. But it's not no damn the comedies, it's the epic films like Matrix and Braveheart and Godfather 1, 2, and 3. And
that's right.
You got to be willing to sit through these things because you ain't gonna be in no damn meetings with the plutocrats to learn how they do it. They're not gonna think about how this is really done. So if you now unlock, unleash, and activate your third eye, unlock, unleash, and activate your spirituality, and now you expose yourself to a curriculum of solid books, movies, documentaries, things like you can now start to figure this thing out.
That's right.
And then, of course, mobilizing and organizing with other like-minded, as Terrence said, like-minded folks. That's important because to do this the way that I've done it, I don't recommend it for most people. It's just in my damn bloodline to rock and roll. I love the haters. I love them. And I love to destroy their ass. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I love them. But that wears on, I've seen it wear on a lot of people. And so I try my best to not necessarily protect everybody from the things that they will encounter, but I try to get them to a point of realizing you need to be very calculating as to how you're going to do this and help be a leader of our people, because there's a lot of tricks and games that's being played out here. But I thank you guys for participating. I will let you guys know in about another week, major announcement as relates to my HBCU Preservation Challenge. You all will hear that. You all will be a part of that. I'll let you know. We have a game plan to raise almost $5 million for students at Xavier, Dillard, Southern, Grambling, and SUNO here in the state of Louisiana. And I've been working on this project for 22 years. And last week I picked up the painting, and I tell you, brother, I'm hyped. I ain't gonna lie to you. But
All
thank
right.
you guys.
So we want to thank you guys for taking time to be a part of the show. We do this every Thursday, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Is normally pretty much, we do pretty well of stopping right at an hour. But because of the subject matter, because of the videos, we obviously went a bit longer. So don't think it's always 2 hours, because this is very rare for us if we go to 2 hours. So with that, again, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it. Always remember two things. No one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely, always remember that nothing is more sacred. Not me, not you, not your kids, not my kids, not your family, not my family. Nothing is more sacred than the liberation, salvation, empowerment, and freedom of Black people. Because if Black people don't make it, none of us are gonna make it, and it's not gonna matter. So we put the people first. We put the tribe first. We try to build a nation, become a race people, so we can take care of ourselves and have power like everybody else, so we can protect our own and do our own thing as we see fit. So thank you guys very much. God bless, and we'll see y'all next Thursday. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.